our previous standing work. We just move right into our seated work. So we're going to just turn and face the wall. You're at the other end of your mat. We're going to lift nice and tall, contract up and over, nod the chin to the chest, scoop the belly up and over, and then reach all the way to the floor. Soften through those knees if you need, and then take a couple pulses towards the floor. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders roll back, and again we're going to lift up, and then tall, chin to chest, curl those ribs up and under your heart, reaching all the way to the floor. Let's go to place with that magic circle with one of the pads down on the floor. 2 hands on the opposite side. Look at your knees, and then inhale here. Exhale, press that magic circle, reach to the floor. And lift. And press. Lift. And press. One more lift. And press from that belly. Good. Go ahead, line that magic circle flat. And then we're going to reach all the way to the floor, bending at those knees if needed. Otherwise, we're going to lift those heels. Bend into your Pilates ball, scooping that belly button up away from your thighs. Pulse it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to go ahead and have a seat. So just gently guiding yourself to the floor. All right, we're going to bring that magic circle out in front of you, squeezing. We're going to lift nice and tall. We're going to tuck through that tailbone, scoop the belly, roll back just to the sacrum, and then lifting all the way back up and rolling back and lifting all the way up. So you're just tucking that tail under, try to get that sacrum flat on the mat, and then lift all the way up, rolling back away from your sits bones and lift tall up on top of them. So you might have to adjust where your feet are at on the mat. We're going to take it back and hold, scooping that belly up and in, squeeze through those inner thighs, shoulders down the back. Lift the magic circle and reach forward. Lift and reach. Lift and reach. Last 2 and 1. Every time you're scooping that belly button in, and then lift nice and tall. All right, we're going to take it back. Again, roll that pelvis away from the thighs. Scoop the belly button in towards your spine. Rotate to the right and center. Rotate left and center. Make sure your knees aren't shifting. If your knees are shifting, that means that your hips are coming along for the ride. So as you rotate to the right, make sure that right knee stays forward and center. Rotate left, left knee stays forward and center. We're going to rotate to the right and pause. You're looking through that magic circle. Keep your gaze forward. Flip the circle and reach back in front of you. Lift and reach. Take a break if you need. One more. And rotate to the left. Again, check in. Make sure your hips haven't shifted. And magic circle lifts. Keep your gaze forward. And lift. Last 2. And 1. And center, and then we're going to roll all the way down, just letting your feet glide in towards you. All right, from here, we're going to take our magic circles, just keep them right over your chest. Going into some upper curls. Again, always leave your head and shoulders down if needed. Bring your right leg up to tabletop, and then your left. Curling the head and shoulders up, looking at the top of those inner thighs, going into our single leg stretch. Right leg reaches, and then left. Right. And left, right, and left. Exhale, reach. Inhale to switch. One more. Knees come in and resting down. All right, anytime you need to, just rest in between, rolling your head or your chin, side to side, releasing it through the neck. And then come back to center. Reach those magic circles up over your chest, shoulders down. Take a little squeeze if you can, and then lift the head and shoulders up for double leg stretch. So bring the magic circle to your shins, and then reach arms and legs away, and pull in. Make sure you're not going so far back with that magic circle that you drop back. Scoop the belly into the mat with an exhale, everything pulling into the midline. Last 2. And 1, and then lowering the head and shoulders down. Magic circle comes back over the chest. This time we'll lengthen our legs straight up to the ceiling. Try to get your legs as straight as you can. You can soften the knees if needed. You might take that elbow back, but otherwise try to keep your legs nice and straight, active through the quads, and then lift the head and shoulders up. Going into our scissor, we lower the right leg down and switch left, right, and left. Again, nice and slow, right, and left. One more, right, and left. Both legs up, and bend the knees, lower down. Now we're going to take the magic circle, place it in between your ankle bones. Okay, bringing the hands behind the head, elbows nice and wide. So I like to keep the arms out of the periph, right? Curl your head and shoulders up, legs will straighten up to the ceiling, squeeze that magic circle, and then lower, and then lift back up. Finding your range, lower, and lift up, lower, and lift up. Last two. Last one. And knees in, going into our crisscross, all right? So you're going to rotate to the right. When you come through center, your legs will extend out, and then bend the knees, rotate left. Rotate. Center, rotate. Center, rotate right. And center, rotate left. And center, one more. And left, knees in, grab that circle and rest it down. Good. And maybe roll your chin from side to side. All right, so we're gonna grab onto our back of our thighs, just place the circle off to the side, or rock and roll yourself all the way up. It's just easier to transition to this next position while you're seated. So you're gonna take the magic circle, bring it straight up and down, and place your right foot on top, okay? Scooch a little forward, and then roll all the way down. So you're gonna press down into the magic circle with that right leg. Arms are pressed by your side. I like to bring them out a little bit to a V, and then left knee is gonna pull into the chest and extend up. So I'm gonna try to have no wobble here in this right leg. You're really pressing down, engaging through the back of the leg as well as that quad. And then we're going to go into our circles. You're going to cross the body, down, around, and lift. And across, around, and lift. Again, try not to wiggle that magic circle leg too much. And across, around, and up, controlling the circle through your core so the pelvis stays stable. One more, cross, around, and lift. And then reverse that circle out to the side. Down, around, and lift. Side. Down, around, and lift. Three more. Only go as far as you can, keeping that opposite hip down. One more, across, around, and lift. Good job. All right, so you gotta carefully switch feet. So just use your other foot to keep it stable. Extend your left leg out. Right knee in, lengthen up to the ceiling. Press down, engaging through that glute. And then we're gonna go into our circles on the right side. Across, around, and lift. Across, around, and lift. Across, around, and lift. Last two. And one. And then reversing those circles out. Down, around, and lift. I'm going to flex my foot because I'm cramping. And three. Last two. And one. And then we'll bring that knee in towards the chest. Give it a little hug. Let the magic circle drop. Pull your other knee in. And take a few rocks side to side. All right, and then we're going to roll to the side to come up to a seated position. All right, magic circle is just there on the floor. You're going to open the legs the width of the mat here, and then you're just going to place your hands on the pads here. Look nice and tall. You're looking forward. Imagine your wall behind you. Crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Pressing your heels into the floor. Try to engage through the thighs as much as you can, but if it's too hard for you to sit up tall, you can always bend the knees a little bit. All right, so you're up on top of those sits bones, hands on that magic circle. You're going to start by bringing the chin towards the chest, scooping those ribs up and under your heart, and then slowly reaching all the way forward. We're going to take an inhale here, feel that expansion through the ribs, and then exhale to lengthen all the way up. We call this pan for gold with that magic circle. Chin to chest, ribs up and under your heart, and reach for gold. inhale, and then pull it back towards you as you slowly roll all the way up. And again, lift tall. And nod the chin to the chest, reach through. Belly button in. Expand those ribs and lengthen all the way up. One more time, lift tall. Contract up and over, scoop that belly, reach the spine behind you as you curl over an imaginary ball. Inhale and exhale, lengthen all the way up, nice and tall. All right, so I'm going to turn and face you. We're going to place our legs in a diamond position here. We're going to bring the magic circle forward on a diagonal, lifting nice and tall, engaging through your lats. Your focus is on staying nice and tall, working through legs in a diamond position. So a diamond position is fairly long, right? Imagine you can drop your whole forearm in between your legs. So it's not squatty, it's fairly big. And then we're focusing on lifting tall, crown of the head up towards the ceiling, other hand can reach to the floor, palm of the hand is on the circle, engage through those collarbones. You got to find kind of where that works for you, where you can get that lat to be down, you're not reaching forward, right? And then you're going to press down. You should feel some work through this right side of the body. So we're working through those obliques, through the lats, that shoulder stabilization. So thinking those inner thighs, even though the legs are apart, so you're kind of pressing those feet together. Press, resist up, last 2, and 1 to hold it down, and then pulse, pulse, and down, down, still lifting, up, up, one more big press, and release. All right, just pick up that magic circle and bring it straight out from your shoulder. And make sure not hyperextending, a little soft bend in the elbow. Connect with your lat, shoulder down the back, and then press down. Lift tall as you press. So you're taking a nice inhale as you press. Think you're bringing space in between your ribs and through the vertebrae of your spine. Last 2, and 1 to hold it down and press, press. Just keep that connection through the lat, through that mid back. Last set. One more big press and release. All right, we're going to bring it to the left hand. You can find that range, right, with that shoulders down, belly buttons up and in. Work through that left side of the body and then press down. So you should feel that connection through those obliques. Feel the muscles through the spine, keeping you nice and tall. Big breath, expanding and contracting through those ribs. Last 2, and 1 to hold. Feel that connection and little pulses down, down. Last 4, 3, 2, 1 more press and release. All right, just pick up that magic circle, bring it straight out in line with your side body. Again, soft bend in those elbows and lift tall up on top of those sits bones and press down. Keep weight through those sits bones equally. It's harder than it looks. And 2, and 1, and then we'll press down and hold. Again, connect everything and pulse it down, down. Last 4, 3, 2, 1 more big press and release it up. All right, so we're going to bring the magic circle to the floor here, and then we're going to lie on our tummies, okay? So I like to place the magic circle in between the elbows, right? And then you kind of walk them together, and you're going to have the forearms pressed into the floor. I like to press the palms and kind of pull back a little bit. And then bring your feet together, ankle bones, knees, and your thighs as well. And then you have a top of the tailbone, I think pubic bone to mat, but your belly button and your hip bones are lifted. Make sure you're not just dropping your chest towards the floor. You're pushing through the floor, lifting through your chest and the belly button away from the mat. And then again, head is long, right? So you're not looking down at the mat. You're looking in front of you, and you're not looking too far forward. So the back of the neck stays long. And then we're going to squeeze from that right heel, bring it towards you. 1, 2, and then extend the leg. And then the left. 1, 2, and extend. Breath pattern. Inhale, inhale, exhale, extend. We're going to add a little lift to the thigh if you can. So you squeeze, squeeze, lift, and lower down. Then left, squeeze, squeeze, lift, and lower down. Squeeze, squeeze, reach, and lower down. Left, squeeze, squeeze, lift, and lower down. One more. Each side. Reach and lower down. So I'm going to slide that magic circle away. Lace it straight up and down. Hands go on either side of your handle here. And then make sure you have a little step bend in the elbows. You have that magic circle is close enough to you. And then we're going to lower the head all the way to the floor. Okay, so you might feel some posterior range here. Make sure your shoulders are down the back. You can separate the legs here if you need. Again, tuck through that tailbone or pubic bend to the mat, belly button up away from the mat. And then you're going to press down through the circle. You're going to lift your head first, so that ears and come up in line with the arms, and you're looking down at that bottom pad. And then you're going to press down, engaging through the lats to lift the chest. Again, make sure it's not your head looking up. Keep that length through the back of the neck. And then you lower all the way down. Head rolls up to neutral. Wrap those armpits towards the mat. Press down to lift the chest. Sternum over that circle. And then lower all the way back down. And again, head rolls up to neutral. And press down. Lift all the way up. And lowering all the way back down. One more, head rolls up, belly button's up and in, ribs are drawing down towards your hips, sternum's lifting, and then lower all the way back down. We're going to go ahead and just slide that magic circle flat for a moment. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself back into a rest position. So rounding through the spine, or you can go into a cat stretch, whatever feels best for you. Or you're going to come back out for one more extension exercise. So take that magic circle, kind of frame it around your buttocks, right? Elbows are going to go wide to the side. Bring those feet together again. If you can, you're going to lower your left cheek to the mat. We try to get those elbows wide and towards the mat. Okay, and then we're going to pull the heels towards the glutes for 3, 2, 1. And they're going to reach the magic circle down the thighs, lift the chest, and then you're going to lower the right cheek to the floor. Pull 1, 2, 3, and extend. So make sure it's your face cheek. And then lower. Pull 1, 2, 3, and extend. And then right cheek. Pull 2, 3, and extend. And pull 2, 3, and extend. Lower right cheek to the floor, pull 2, 3, and extend. One more time, left side of your face to the floor, 2, 3, and extend, and then right, 2, 3, and extend. All right, go ahead, bring that magic circle around, place your hands, and sit back into a rest position. And then lengthening all the way up. All right, we're going to go into some side lying leg work. Okay, so I'm going to turn and face you. We're going to start, it's just easiest to place that magic circle here at the ankle bone. Place your other leg on top, so depending on what leg you're working on. And then you'll just lie down to where you're all the way extended. If you need to, you can just lie all the way down on the mat. Otherwise, we're trying to keep that elbow and shoulder in line with each other. Rib cage lifted up, so you're not dumping that rib into the mat. You're lifting those ribs. Top hand can be on the floor or behind the head, whatever works best for you. And then we're just going to squeeze and release. Squeeze, press, neck is long, shoulders down the back. 2, 1 to hold, and then pulse it down down, working the top of those inner thighs, scooping through the belly. Last for 3, 2, 1. One more big squeeze and release. All right, so this is tricky. Okay, you're gonna try to hold that magic circle, try not to lose it. And you're gonna roll on to your tummy. Hopefully I can do it. Yeah, good job. If not, you can always reach back and grab onto that circle and adjust it, okay? So from here, we're gonna rest our head and shoulders down. Belly button's up and in. You're gonna point through those toes. And then again, make sure your belly button's away from the mat so you're not dumping into that low back so it's nice and long. And then you're gonna squeeze that magic circle and release. So if you're too arched in the back, it's gonna go in the low back. You want to make sure it's coming right through the top of those thighs. Call that the smile line. So trying to turn your little frowns upside down. Squeeze and release. And squeeze. And 2. And 1 to hold. And then little pulses in. And in. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Big squeeze. You're feeling those hamstrings. Yeah? All right, now we're going to keep that squeeze of the circle. You're going to extend the legs and then bend. And extend the legs and bend. Last 2 and bend. Last 1 and bend and hold. Point those toes up towards the ceiling. Squeeze that circle a little tighter if you can, and then we're going to lift the thighs and lower pubic bone to the mat. Lift and squeeze through the seat. Base of the buttocks. Make sure you're not arching through your low back. 1 more. Adding those together, we're going to lift the thighs, extend the legs, bend and lower, lift, extend, bend and lower. 2 more. Lift, extend, bend and lower. 1 more time. Lift, extend, bend and lower. Good job. Go ahead and let that circle drop. Again, we'll press ourselves back into a rest position. All right, and then we'll switch sides. So now we'll be turning, facing you again. Setting yourself up with that magic circle at your ankle bone. Top leg goes on top, and then extend those legs. Make sure your shoulder goes underneath, your elbow goes underneath your shoulder. You're pressing down into the mat with that forearm, pulling those ribs up and in. Again, hand can be in front, on the hip, or behind the head, whatever works for you. Just working through those obliques and big squeeze and squeeze. And zipping up through that pelvic floor connection, top of those inner thighs working towards each other. Bottom leg is active as well. Keep pressing through the floor, lifting nice and tall. Last 2. And 1 to hold and pulse it down, down. And lift up, up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. One more big squeeze and release. All right, now we're carefully going to try to roll onto our backs without losing that circle. I'm going to shift myself a little bit. All right, lengthen those legs up. Just again, you can always grab onto the circle if needed. You don't have to be tricky, but it's just something fun to try for. All right, so we're going to reach our arms behind the head. Elbows wide, squeeze that circle, and then we're going to lift our head and shoulders up off the mat. All right, so we're going to take a squeeze of that circle as we lower those legs for 8. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lift. And up. 2, 3, 4, and lower down. And down. Then up. And up. See if you can curl a little higher, and then bend those knees and lower down. We're going to grab the magic circle, place it at your outer ankles, lift those legs. Again, keep the head and shoulders down if needed. I always find that I can go a little bit lower, actually, if I had my head and shoulders rolled up. So again, totally up to you. So this time we're going to do a little fancy footwork. So you're going to point and flex the feet as you lower the legs down. Again, for 8 counts. Flex and point. and lift, and lift, and lower, and lower. Keep it slow. Then up, and up. So you can curl a little higher, bend those knees, and lower all the way down. All right, we're going to rock and roll ourselves all the way up. We're going into a little outer thigh. So this time you're going to place the bottom leg inside the circle, and then the other, no, sorry, yep, inside. Okay, so from here, again, we're lifting nice and tall, pressing down into the floor, and now with the outer thighs, you're going to press up into that circle and lower. Press up and lower. Press. Really try to stretch that circle from the outer thighs. Press and press. Last 2 and 1. Press up and hold. Lift a little taller through those ribs. Pulse it up, up, and 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Press and release. All right, and then we're going to switch sides. So I'm just going to turn around, face away from the camera, placing that bottom leg again inside the circle. Place the top foot against and inside the circle as well. Line yourself up, one long line through the body. Press down through the elbow, pull up through the ribs, and then press up and up and lift and lift. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 to hold. Press it up, up. Feeling that side and that glute. Last 4, 3, 2, 1 more big press and release. All right, we're going to come up, grab that magic circle. We're going to lie down for some pelvic press work. Still using our magic circle. You're probably tired of it by now, but we're going to go ahead and lie all the way down, bringing your heels underneath your knees. And then again, we try to make an oval of that circle, as small as you can. And then place your arms by your side. Again, keep an oval in that circle, so your inner thighs will start to quiver fairly quickly. Mine are already there. And then you're going to squeeze even tighter, and then just to that little oval. Squeeze even tighter, little release. Big squeeze, little release. And 2, and 1. Squeeze and hold. Tuck through that tailbone, scoop through the belly. Okay, and now if you have any spinal issues, just go straight up. Otherwise, you articulate through the spine, think knees out over those toes. Reach through those fingertips, press through your lats, through the shoulder blades and triceps. And then to roll down, we start by softening through the chest. Roll those ribs down to the waistline, and then heavy tailbones again. Still squeeze that magic circle, and then tuck through that tailbone. Again, hinging up or articulating through the spine, knees out over those toes. Check in, make sure weight doesn't roll to the outside of the foot. You haven't loosened that circle. You feel your inner thighs spiraling inward towards each other. Feel the middle of your feet, or you feel the inside, I should say, of your arches and your big toe ball staying on the floor. And release. And then tuck through that tailbone, scoop the belly. We're going to lift those hips all the way up. Hold here, and then little pulses up, up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold there. Little pulses with that circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze. Now I know how you feel in my classes. This is hard. Lower all the way down. All right, one more time. Squeeze that magic circle. Tuck through that tailbone. Lift those hips all the way up. Long line, shoulders to knees. And then we're going to flex the feet and lower. Flex and lower. Flex and lower. Last 2 and 1. So if you can squeeze that circle a little bit tighter, lift your right arm up to the ceiling and lower. Lift your left arm up and lower. Draw that shoulder down as you lift and left. Lift the right arm up and hold. Lift the left arm up and hold if you can. Squeeze that circle a little tighter, pulse it up, up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower down, one vertebrae at a time, and releasing. Yay, okay, that's it for the inner thighs. Now you're just going to place that magic circle. I like to go just right on top of the knees. You can always just drape your legs all the way through if you want. And then if you're using a belt, then you can tie that around your thighs right now. All right, so from here, walk the feet a little bit wider. Now you're pressing. Try to make the magic circle and an oval going the opposite direction. And then from here, heavy tailbones, maybe a little light in that waistline. And then we're going to just press out and release. Press and release. Feeling the shoulder blades on the back, heavy through the tailbone. Press, little release, big stretch, and release. Stretch and hold. Tilt to that tailbone, scoop to the belly, roll that spine all the way up. Knees out over those toes, squeeze through the glutes, and then to lower, soften at the chest. Start to round down through the ribs to the waistline, and release. All right, checking with your feet. Make sure they feel solid on the floor. Press out and then tuck through that tailbone, scoop to the belly, lifting all the way up. Again, you're not rolling to the outside of the foot. You might need to walk your feet a little wider. And then little pulses up, up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the lift and press out, out. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that press if you can, and then we're going to lift the heels and lower. Lift the heels and lower. Lift and lower. Keep pressing into that circle. Lift and lower. Last 4 and 3, 2, 1 to hold if you can, and then pulse that circle out again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those heels and lower all the way down. Releasing. All right, got one more set. Press out in that circle, tilt through that tailbone, lift the hips all the way up. Hold there. And now without shifting knees or hips side to side, you're going to press a little more right thigh, then left thigh. A little more right, then left, right, then left, right, and left. One more right and left. Squeeze a little higher and then soften at the chest, round down through the ribs, and releasing. All right, bring your knees in towards you. You're going to grab the magic circle, grab onto one handle with both hands, and then place your right ball of the foot against the other pad. Again, soften through the chest, make sure everything's nice and relaxed up here at the top. And then we're going to stretch that heel up towards the seat. I like to really kind of pull onto the ball of the foot to create some resistance. And then release. And then press. And release. Each time you're maybe trying to get your thigh a little bit closer to you. Maybe that leg extending a little bit further overhead. Last 2, and 1. All right, we're going to soften the knee. So whatever foot you have in the magic circle, put your right foot, you're going to grab on with your right hand, and you're going to drop your left arm, left leg out to the side, and then see if you can get your elbow all the way to the mat. And then we're going to extend from there, and bend, and extend, stretching through those hamstrings. Maybe feel a little stretch through that inner thigh as well. One more here, and then we want to bend the knee to switch. So now you switch hands, bring the other arm out to the side. We're keeping the hip down though, we're not going to where that hip is lifting, okay? And then extend that leg all the way out, the opposite leg, and then extend and bend. So we're getting that outer hamstring stretched. One more. And then we'll switch, so grabbing on with both hands, switch the right to the floor, other foot goes against the pad, again soften those Elbows, I like to go a little wide, and then make sure at the ball of the foot, reach the heel towards the ceiling and bend to release. Exhale to stretch and release. Feel the opposition of your hips sinking into the mat. One more. Good, and then same hand as foot grabs on, other knee and arm go out to the side. We let the arm go out to hopefully get that elbow all the way onto the mat. Pull onto that circle and extend. 2 and 1, and then we'll reach across the body, grab on opposite arm to leg, extend that opposite leg down, just come across the body where that opposite hip, or that same hip, sorry, stays on the floor, and then extend from there. So feel that stretch through the outside of that leg, that outer hamstring. Last 2 and 1. Good job. All right, so go ahead and come center. I'm going to wrap that magic circle around the knees. Go ahead and give it a little tug. Releasing through the low back, and then just rock and roll yourself all the way up. We're going to go ahead and place that magic circle onto the floor. We are going to finish here with a little plank series, okay? So you're going to place your hands underneath your shoulders, and if you need to, you can go onto your elbows, but you've all heard me say I like you to be on those palms as much as you can. So create some bone density in your wrists, and then make sure that your elbows aren't hyperextended, right? So the eye of the elbow isn't facing towards the wall, they're facing each other, bony parts of the elbow facing away. Fingertips are still forward. You're pressing through the heel of the hand, scoop to the belly, and then extend one leg and the other. And we're going to hold here for 4 deep breaths. And 3, 2, and 1. And then from there, we're going to lift those hips. Walk your hands back, right, left, left. You can soften through those knees if needed. We're going to roll all the way up, lifting nice and tall. And then rounding over, chin to chest. We're going to go all the way back out. Switch the hands, right? So now you're going to go left and switch hands. Left, right, soften those knees and slowly roll all the way up. And one more time, chin to chest, curl up and over. Got a little awkward there, using my left hand first. And we're going to go right, left, last set. Holding here, 4 deep breaths. If you'd like to try 4 push-ups, totally up to you. Last 2. And 1, and then final. You can bend those knees if you need to and walk yourself back. We'll keep those legs straight, walking back, right, left, so that's a bent knee version. And then we're going to just hang here for a moment, walk your feet a little wider, and then just drop your chest towards your thighs. A couple little pulses here. And then we're going to shake our head no more magic circle for today. And then nod the chin to the chest. Good, keep the chin to the chest, soften through those knees, let those arms drape, scoop that belly, slowly roll up, 1 vertebrae at a time. I'll take a shoulder roll back, whoop, and a big arm circle. And thank you very much. See you again soon.